Chapter 3, Nightmare. It's like someone opened Pandora's box and flew out all the monsters. When the school decided to give the girl who rushed out to beat someone out of nowhere a punishment for educating herself and warning others, one cold morning, the school worker's aunt found her body in the self-study classroom. With her head tilted to one side, lying on a pile of books, eyes wide open. Lanting. This time it was me who kicked open the bedroom door. I was holding a dozen books in my arms, my school bag was dragging on my wrist, and a bag of buns was hooked on my little finger. Lanting looked at me from behind the glasses. Have you changed to the abysmal route? As far as my personal suggestion is concerned, apart from the artists and porters, you are obviously the latter. I smashed the things in my hand on the table and took a breath. Hurry up, I need your gossip. What gossip? Her determined expression was very similar to that of an outpatient specialist, and I was the unlucky patient who accidentally caught a cold. Tell me about the rumored incident in the school. What is it called? The mysterious corpse incident in the self-study classroom. I shouldn't expect you to be interested in things that XX and XX are divided, combined and divided. Lanting pouted. I have 108 versions of that. Which one do you want to listen to? Cough. I was so choked by steamed buns that I rolled my eyes, and it took me a long time to recover. Official. The official version is sudden cardiac death. Do you believe it? Why not? Because neither the girl herself nor her family has a history of hereditary diseases. Lanting frowned. How could she suddenly die of a heart attack? Little spiritual fairy, although I don't have any hope for your IQ, but you should understand the simple truth, right? I want to listen to the most reliable ones. Is it the most reliable one? Lanting hesitated. It is said that Shang Shu robbed her boyfriend. She couldn't find anything, and even got a punishment, so she couldn't think of suicide for a while. Well, no wonder Lanting said she didn't have any hope for my IQ. I should have known that I couldn't hear any reliable news from her. Then tell me what you think is the most nonsense. She was cursed, Lanting said firmly. The most exaggerated version is that she encountered something unclean, and then she was cursed. First, she went crazy and then stopped. For this, they have another argument. How do you say it? Yes, before God can destroy a person, he must make that person mad. I sincerely suggest that you school paparazzi can go to hell. I said sullenly. I think it's me who is cursed. Shang Shu pushed the door and came in, holding a dozen books in her arms. Her face was a little haggard. She threw the book heavily on the table. Who has something calming like milk chrysanthemum tea? I can't do it. Insomnia? Dizziness? Forgetfulness? Please take XX oral liquid. Lanting pulled out a bag of milk and threw it to her. Seriously, Shang Shu, you are now a star of Hongluan, and your peach blossoms are strong, so you shouldn't be so sluggish. I'm sleepy. Shang Shu yawned. I can't sleep well, and as soon as I fall asleep, I have nightmares. What nightmare? Today I was lying in the library for a while, and I dreamed that I was hanged on the gallows, and a group of people looked at me blankly. Yesterday, I dreamed that I was stabbed to death by a robber who suddenly rushed out while walking alone on the road. The day before yesterday, I dreamed that he was suddenly knocked down and then a carriage crushed over me. The day before that, I drank a cup of tea that I didn't know what it was, and suddenly vomited blood and died. The day before that. Beauty, aren't you persecuted delusional? Lanting's face darkened. I'm getting troubled by a madwoman. And then that madwoman died. I reminded casually. That's right. Shang Shu let out a long sigh. Little spiritual fairy, it doesn't work at all. I still have nightmares. Again, I'm a pure believer in materialism. The corners of my eyes twitched, and these girls told me outside like a gypsy in a cape. No wonder this girl is so unlucky. The two unlucky girls began to laugh heartlessly. At this moment, Fusu, who had finished gym class, came back with a letter in her hand. Beauty, receive a love letter. Who are you talking about? There are 3 beauties here. Lanting smiled. Fusu rolled her eyes and stuffed the letter into Shang Shu. Chu Ling spends all day either in the library or studying strange things, not to mention your name, the campus paparazzi captain. You 2 atypical human beings, whether you are beautiful or not, are you embarrassed to call yourself a gender woman? Roll. However, just as Lanting and I looked at each other and prepared to complain tit for tat, Shang Shu suddenly exclaimed. I turned around, the letter in her hand fell to the ground, and the palm-sized melon seeds had a pale face. The paper was wrinkled, and the dark red traces were obviously bloodstains. The most disgusting thing was the words on it. The rust-like blood was crawling crookedly on the paper. Go to hell. A vicious aura came over her. Perversions happen every year, but this year is particularly large. Fusu sighed in a stunned manner. Shang Shu buried her head in her arms, trembling and crying. Lanting looked at me and then at Fusu in surprise, took Shang Shu's shoulders, patted her gently, and comforted her in a low voice. What should I do? Fusu asked me. Shang Shu, who have you offended recently? In terms of personality, this girl is a typical little bird with no heart and soul. Her IQ and EQ are not high, and most people don't bother to have the same knowledge as her. Who would hate her? To think of her dead? I don't know. What did I do wrong? Why are they targeting me? Well, no matter where you are in the future, at least one of the 3 of us will accompany you until you are handed over to your boyfriend. Okay, don't cry, it's all right. That's all there is to it now. However, what should we do when our class schedules are different? The beautiful bunny-like red eyes looked at me pitifully. Alas, I couldn't stand this kind of look the most. I'm skipping class, I shrugged. Anyway, I'm not afraid of the pig's scalding, and the class I'm taking is not as good as it is. Sang Suk showed a grateful smile, obviously amused by my words of sacrificing my image. End of chapter 3.